Halo Infinite now has almost 80 different helmets, and in today's video we're going to be talking about my top 5. This was genuinely a pretty tough list to make. As I said, there's almost 80 helmets in the game, so narrowing it down to my 5 favourites was a little bit difficult. But it is worth mentioning this is just my list, these are the helmets that I prefer over others, and I guarantee almost everyone else is completely different. So do let me know what your top helmets are down in the comments. But if you do enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new here, as I really do appreciate it and it really helps the channel out. We recently hit 4,000 subscribers, which is a massive W, so thank you all for that. And without wasting any more of your time, let's jump straight in. At the number 5 spot, we have the Mark 7. I thought this helmet was the perfect way to kick the list off, being probably the most iconic of the new helmets that we've had across Halo Infinite. Obviously, this helmet is also in Halo 4 on Master Chief Collection. It was a relatively new addition to sort of promote Infinite and the new armor in that game. It may not be the most complex by any means, but it is such a perfect Halo helmet. At the number 4 spot, we have Anubis. Now, Anubis was originally introduced in Halo 5, and its Infinite counterpart, although being similar, does look quite different, but honestly, I do prefer how it looks in Infinite. I love its narrow, almost wolf-like design. And this helmet particularly stands out on some more tactical builds, so if you want a sort of tactical, military, stealthy Spartan, Anubis is the perfect fit. Coming in next, we have the Firefall helmet. This one is obviously a very popular one, as it's the newer version of the ODST helmet. And at this point, I genuinely think that I prefer Firefall over its original counterpart. ODST is amazing, don't get me wrong, it is one of the best Halo helmets. But Firefall, I think, is just that little bit better. It just feels like the perfect natural progression of the ODST helmet, adding on to it while not overdoing the design. And again, you can make some amazing looking Spartans with this. To sum up Firefall, I'd argue it's almost like the Spartan equivalent of an ODST helmet. For the number 2 spot, we have Yokai, and this one shouldn't really be a surprising one for anyone that's stuck with the channel for quite a while. I absolutely love this helmet. It looks really cool. It's a nice variant of the Locust helmet, and I genuinely think it looks a lot better than Locust 2, and I know that'll be a bit of a hot take. But really, I think I've come to love this helmet even more, as I feel like it is now a part of the channel. The Yokai helmet, the artwork of it has been my profile picture for quite some time. I just love how demonic the helmet looks, and I'm a big fan of my overall yiur build. It also fits the flaming head effect perfectly, as it just makes it look like a demon. Before we reveal the number 1 spot, I do have a quick honourable mention, and that is the campaign variant of the Mark 6, the one that Master Chief uses. Now, if this was a helmet we could actually use in the multiplayer, I would have this as my number 1. But since it is just the campaign helmet, I didn't really think it would be fair to include it on this list. We do have a variant of the Mark 6 in the multiplayer on the Mark 5B core, but that's the Reach version of the Mark 6, and honestly, I'm not as much of a fan of that one. The differences between them are minor, but they are noticeable, and I think the campaign one is just gorgeous. The number 1 spot is a tie between 2 different helmets, one of those being quite a newcomer, and that is Menachite, and the other being the Halo Reach version of the Mark 5. I know technically this is my Halo Infinite list, but obviously the Mark 5 is a helmet that's in Infinite, so it's only when Menachite was first leaked, I kind of instantly fell in love with that helmet. However, when it released, I was a little bit skeptical. But actually using it, being able to experiment with it a little bit more, it has definitely quickly become one of my favourites. And it looks even better with the Trail Watch attachment, which came with the War Master helmet too. As for the Mark 5, well, it's iconic, and although this isn't the original Combat Evolved version of the helmet, I think this one looks solid. Both helmets are very similar to one another, which is why they are tied for this spot. It's very possible my opinions on most of these helmets on the list will change in the future. I seem to just change my mind on a lot of these designs very often. So although these are number 1 right now, it's entirely possible I'll prefer a different helmet even more in a week or 2. But that sums up my top 5 Halo Infinite helmets. I'm curious to hear what you all have to say in the comments, and I'm curious to see all of your lists too. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.